Hello and welcome back to What It Feels Like. We will be continuing where we left off, which, if you recall, is after Mylo had the confrontation. Well, not even confrontation. The conversation with Liz about what's going on. And she seems a bit, put out by the fact that Mylo doesn't seem fit to talk to her about all the important things that are going on in his life anymore. And, I mean, it may or may not be completely all on him because, she got together with White and now he feels sort of left out. But, still your friend. And, this whole thing with the new band member and you're suddenly dating him. Like, what's going on there? What's going on, Mylo? And, of course, Mylo and Baxter had their little... They finally put their plan into action and everyone's talking about it. Everyone's looking, asking questions, glaring, etc., etc. I'm pretty sure that by now Jakob has heard what's going on. But yeah. Anywho, so yeah, without further ado, let us continue What It Feels Like and see what happens. See what I tell you? He's so jealous that he can't wait to see you. I think you're overselling it. I think I'm underselling it. I'm home now on the phone with Baxter and getting ready to see Jakob. It's barely 7 o'clock and Jakob texted me asking if I could be there by 9, which is insane. He almost always wants me there as late as possible, so there's no chance of anyone seeing me. Needless to say, Baxter's plan is definitely working. In any case, how's it going on your end? Has Dahlia said anything else? Not really, but I didn't expect her to. It'll be a slow burn kind of thing with her. How come? Well, it's not like she's gonna immediately change her mind. She's the type to think a lot before she does something, I wouldn't really know. I don't do that, but I hope that it doesn't take too long for her to come around. Why? Sick of dating me already? This time I freely roll my eyes as I put him on speaker and check myself in the mirror, squishing my stomach flat. Man, maybe I should lay off the cookies. I didn't mean it like that. I just mean that for the plan to work, they have to get jealous at around the same time. What if Jakob asks me out before Dahlia asks you or vice versa? Do we have to stay a couple until they both do? You didn't think about that, did you? It'll be fine. We just have to play it as much as we can while we're together. As long as they see how awesome we are as boyfriends, the plan will work. Trust. Alright, whatever you say. You're gonna go see him now, then? What do you guys usually do anyway? Yeah. Makes sense. Although it's, kind of weird. What is? It's just, you don't strike me as a casual hookup person. I stared at my phone for a second, a little bothered. How would he know that? Or rather, how does he know that? I'm not, but this is more than that. Oh yeah? Why's that? Because we don't just... So what else do you do? We talk and watch shows on his laptop sometimes. Before or after? Does it matter? Yup. Before. He groans in disappointment. What? Nothing. Just think about whether or not this is really a hookup, okay? It's not. I'm just saying. In any case, isn't that what we're planning on changing? Moving things to the next level? Yeah, but... Nothing, never mind. Just be careful. Text me when you get back home. Alright. Thanks, I will. It surprises me how seriously Baxter takes the role of my boyfriend even when no one's around to listen. Maybe he's always like this, or maybe he really is just trying hard to be a good partner. Either way, I'm not entirely sure how to feel about it. As much as I like the way that he treats me, I can't get too attached or anything. That would be a huge mess. After making sure I'm presentable enough to go see Jacob, I go downstairs to go out by the front door, but quickly realize that was a mistake. Mom walks in through the door just as I'm about to open it. When she notices me, she gives me a puzzled look. Hi, honey. Hey, Mom. How was work? Good, good. You're here early. So are you? Yeah. No band today. Going somewhere? Yes. Lizzie's place? Oh? Yeah, she just called me. She said she needed help with the project that she's doing. I don't think that'll be too long, though. So you're not gonna have dinner today either? Probably not. I'll just pick up something on the way to her place. Your dad might be home earlier today too. Couldn't you stay? The more she asks this of me, the more it kind of breaks my heart. It's not like I hate my mom, far from it actually, but our relationship has definitely felt strained since Emma left. But it seems like nowadays she's trying to remedy that. I wish that I could give it a chance. But then, when would I see Jacob? I can't give up the only time that I have to see the guy that I'm in love with. I see my mom every day. This is just a momentary sacrifice. I'm sorry. I can't really just leave Lizzie hanging like that. But I think I'll be free tomorrow, if Dad is here too. Alright. Call me when you get there. Okay, Mom. I give her a quick peck on the cheek and make my way out the door, not waiting for her to say anything else that might make me feel worse. Walking to Jacob's place always helps me think. It's 15 minutes I get to myself with nothing but crickets and my own thoughts accompanying me. And tonight my thoughts are doing everything that they can to make me feel guilty. It wouldn't be the first time. I'm well aware of the self-destructive nature of my relationship with Jacob. I know that these clandestine meetings don't do me any good, and that hiding things from people closest to me does more damage than I could see. After all, no one likes a secret. But losing Jacob means going back to having no one. Losing Jacob means loneliness, and it'd make me feel like I gave up on my one chance at love. No one can assure me that someone else could love me like Jacob does. I spent so much of my life hoping to find love, to have a guy to love me for who I am, and it never happened until I met him. If I lose this, what would I have left? What if this really is my one shot? If he's my soulmate, and this is a test from the universe telling me to fight with everything that I've got? Isn't that what love's all about? Sacrifice and fighting for the person that you love? Isn't that why you fought the wars and lost their minds? For the heat of passion, for a single glance? Maybe I'm being overly poetic. Songwriting will do that to you. But as I'm approaching his apartment, I fill myself with determination to make this work. This is only for now. One day, maybe even soon, Jacob and I will be together, and I'll look back at this and laugh. One day, this anger and sadness will be nothing but a distant memory. Stairs, 7, knock. The door opens, much wider than it usually does. I notice, and he greets me at the door with a shirt on today, a rare sight. Seems like things really are changing. Hi. Did anyone see you? Well, I guess some things never change, huh? No. He wordlessly steps out of the way to let me in, and I walk inside nervously, folding my hands in front of me. The usual comforting darkness feels tense today, and it's obvious why. He knows about Baxter. But this is something that's never happened before. I've never even talked about other guys in Jacob's presence, let alone openly flirted with someone else in public. It's never been an issue before. No one's ever liked me like that. How he'll react to me having a boyfriend now is anyone's best guess, really. Sit down. He says this in a polite host-to-guest kind of way, but there is a bit of an undertone to it, almost like he's demanding it. And just like always, I do as he says, sitting on the couch with an anxious feeling in my gut. He sits beside me, leaving that cushion of distance between us, and stares me down intensely, the glow of his window making his face even darker, which only makes his eyes shine brighter than usual. It makes my stomach turn. I look away. So, you got a boyfriend now, huh? Looks like it. That's funny. What is? That you'd ask me out last night and get a boyfriend the next day. I cross my legs and hug my chest, looking away from him. He asked me out. I said yes. So, fuck me, right? He scoffs in that cynical way that he tends to. At least people won't think that you and I are a thing. That's what's most important to you, isn't it? Don't give me that. Don't make me out to be some villain who doesn't care about you. You know that isn't true. I'm not. I'm just saying that you have your priorities straight, and that's your reputation, right? Or am I wrong? You think that I don't see what you're doing? That this is obviously some kind of scheme of yours to make me jealous? To get under my skin? You know how childish that is, Mylo. My heart sinks when he says this. Of course he'd see right through our plan. Jakob isn't stupid. He knows how much I like him and how little I pay attention to other guys. I'm wrapped around his finger. But I don't have to be. You think that I planned this? You really think that I convinced some guy to go out with me just to make you jealous? Is the thought of me with someone else so impossible that you don't think someone would like me for me? That's not what I meant. No, Jakob, it isn't. It never is. You never mean anything you say. Okay. You know what? Yeah, sorry. If I have a hard time believing that Baxter Abernathy of all people asked you out, you don't know anything about him, and I'm pretty sure that it goes both ways. You do know that he has a bunch of bitches who he whenever he wants, right? Either he's using you or you're really that dumb, and I don't think that you're dumb, Mylo. I do know Baxter, for your information, and even if I don't, I can get to know him. At least he's not ashamed of me. There you go again, bringing that up. I've told you before that I am not fucking ashamed of you. Then what are you ashamed of, Jakob? Yourself? I'm sorry. If you're doing this to make me jealous, then congrats, Mylo. It worked. I don't want you talking to that piece of shit. You think that's easy for me? You think that I don't want to tell him to fuck off and keep you to myself? My heart flutters a bit when he says this, so he does want me all to himself. I wish you would. He sighs, grabbing my arms and pulling me to his chest, squeezing me tightly against him. I want to. I want to be a good guy for you. But I don't think that I'm there yet. Please break up with him, Mylo. I don't want you hanging around him. He's just some idiot who won't treat you right at all. I want to so badly to break things off. Call a ceasefire, tell Baxter that the plan is over, that I'm staying with Jakob forever. But nothing's changed. Jakob hasn't lost me. I'm right here in his arms, doing whatever he says, just like always. And if I listen to him now, then things will stay exactly the way that they've always been. I need to be strong. I need to keep myself away from him. He needs to chase me. No, I'm sorry, Jakob, but I need someone who's going to be there for me. I need someone who's willing to kiss me in front of everyone, who will hold my hand, who isn't scared of anything. I'm tired of being your secret, and I'm tired of you being mine. I pull away from his embrace, not daring to look him in the eyes, because I know that if I do, my resolve will crumble into a million pieces, and I'll fall right back into his arms. Mylo. No, Jakob, He grabs my face and makes me face him, his eyes dark and fiercely determined. If you can tell me that you love him more than me, I won't say a thing. Do that and I'll accept it. I'll let you walk out that door without another word. Jakob, please. Just as I feared, my resolve starts falling apart, and he pulls me closer to his face, his low voice melting me like butter. Say it, Mylo. I don't. Jakob, you know I don't. I love you. You're the only one. Wet tears start to stream down my face, blurring my vision of him, but it doesn't matter anyway. Because he kisses me, hard and deep, pressing his muzzle firmly against mine, and I close my eyes, letting the remainder of my tears flow out of my eyes. His tongue slips inside of my mouth, and the rough way he kisses me, pushing my tongue with his own, makes my head go blank and arms go numb. He pulls away, panting, licking his lips with hunger and desire. I don't think that I've ever seen him like this. I love you, Mylo. I need you. Here with me. You're right. I am ashamed of myself, but you make me feel like I don't have to be. I want to make things work for us. Just please, give me more time. Feeling his shaky breaths whisper against my lips, the way he's holding me, the fact that he told me that he loved me, all of this shatters any reason that I had left in my brain and replaces it with the undying love that I had for this man. I'll wait for you, Jakob. Always. He growls in affirmation, bringing my lips close to his and whispering against them once more. I knew you would. And then he kisses me again, passionately, not wasting a second of time to get me undressed. Tonight, he doesn't even lead me to his bedroom. The wildfire of our passion couldn't be contained, even for a moment. He gets me on all fours right on his couch. I know he eventually, and I go into the bathroom to clean up. It isn't until I'm standing face to face in the mirror looking at my reflection that the haze finally lets up. That it wasn't making love. That was... I'm sure anyone else would have loved this. It didn't feel bad, after all. It hurt, sure, but it did feel nice. So then, why didn't I, too? Why do I feel so... dirty? When I go back to his living room, he's already dressed again, checking his phone and drinking water. He didn't get me a cup. Hey, you want some? I shake my head. All right, well, thanks for coming over. I'm glad we talked. He walks over to me and kisses me on the lips, then gently guides me to his door. I'll see you later, okay? Okay. Good night. Good night. He closes the door behind me and locks it, and just like that, the night is over. I stand in front of his door for a lot longer this time. The feeling of wanting to cry tries to bubble its way into the surface again, but I swallow it down. I stare at the number on his door, the 7, until my eyes go dark, and I can't see anything at all. I let my mind spiral until it eventually goes blank, and I can't form a single coherent thought. Eventually, I've calmed myself down enough to go down the stairs and out into the sidewalk, making my way back home. I don't look up at the moon tonight, though its grin just feels like it's mocking me. I've made it about a block away from his apartment when I hear someone's footsteps behind me, and when I turn around, my heart sinks. You're a lot of things, Mylo, but I never expected a cheater to be one of them. Like a vision in a desert sent to torment me, Lizzie stands right in front of me, a look of frustration on her face. Liz? What are you doing here? Your mom called me, asked me if you were coming to my house. I thought that it was weird, using me as an excuse without even telling me. So, let me see if I've got this down. You act weird for months after he leaves the band, find a boyfriend from one day to the other, and don't even bother telling me. The same day that you do tell me, I found out that you're leaving Jakob's apartment after doing that? What is this? What the hell? How long has this been going on, Mylo? I clutch onto my stomach, and I feel like I might as well have killed someone by how ashamed I am. Her disappointed face, her mother-like tone, That feeling of inferiority, it comes in waves that don't seem to stop, and I feel my breathing start to come in short, shallow breaths. Mylo, you need to talk to me. This is ridiculous. This isn't like you doing weird, bad shit behind my back. I mean, I get it, you know. No, Lizzie, you don't get it. I don't even think before I speak. Everything spews out of me in desperate, angry bursts of hurt that have been boiling inside of me for so long that it all comes out in one fell swoop. Don't tell me that you understand how I feel, because you don't. You couldn't understand because how could you? You don't know what it's like to not be able to be with someone because of your sexuality. You don't know, Lizzie. You don't. You got wide. You got the good guy. You got in a healthy relationship, and I got Jakob. I got the mess, the secrets, the hiding. How would you know what it's like to have to keep your relationship a secret because you're fucking gay? That's not fair, Mylo. How am I supposed to know if you don't tell me anything? You're the one who's been hiding things from me. You're fucking the guy who screwed us over and cheating on your new boyfriend. Do you think that what you're doing is okay? Baxter isn't even my real boyfriend. What? It's all fake. He likes someone else. I like Jakob. We're not really a thing. Huh? And don't talk to me about fair. You know what isn't fair? That you got your boyfriend and forgot about me. You never want to hang out with me without Wyatt there. You can't fathom being apart from him for more than 5 fucking minutes. That's not fair, Lizzie. It's not fair that we both fell for someone at the same time. Yet you're the only one who got the happy ending. You got the love story. You got it. And I'm happy for you, but I choke on my words, feeling my whole body shake with shudders. This isn't going well at all. With every word that I say, I feel like I'm making things worse and worse, but I can't stop. All these emotions, all these heartaches that I've been keeping inside don't stop spewing out. And I can't contain it. But I wanted it too. I wanted the happy ending. I wanted the love story. But I have to go on every day feeling like you did things right and I did things wrong. I can't help feeling so much worse than you. I'm crying now, almost full on sobbing as Lizzie watches me, too stunned to say anything. I don't want things to end like this. I don't want to be the bad friend, and I know deep down maybe it really is all my fault. But in this moment, I don't care. In this moment, I don't want her to look at me like I'm a wounded little kid, and she needs to patch me up and make me feel better. I'm tired of being the stupid one. I'm tired of being the odd one out. I'm tired of being the disappointment. Just go home, Lizzie. I'm tired and I don't want to talk about this anymore. Mylo, go ahead and tell Wyatt that he was right. I'm leaving. Before she says anything else, I turn on my heels and start walking away, and when I hear her call out to me again, I pick up speed until eventually I'm running. I run away from her, from my problems, from myself in a way. I run and run until I reach my front porch where every window is dark and closed off. They must be asleep by now. I go in, out of breath. I walk up the stairs and go into my room, locking the door behind me in case Mom tries to come in, but it doesn't seem likely anyway. I fall onto my bed face first and squeeze my eyes shut, telling myself over and over again to not cry, don't cry, don't cry. But I do, and I don't know for how long, but I cry, hard yet quietly, without making a scene, curled up in a ball into my pillow, which is clutched tightly in my arms, because I know that this is no one's fault but my own. I'm the idiot. I always have been. Somewhere along the night, I stopped crying, which leaves a numbness that I can only describe as comforting. It's nice to feel nothing after feeling so much. With shaky hands, I check my phone, dreading the worst. Lizzie telling me that she never wants to see me again, but there's nothing from her. All I have is a text from Baxter, about half an hour ago, asking if I made it home okay. So dumb. He's not even my real boyfriend. What does he care? That's really mean. When did I get so mean? Hey, I'm home okay. Thanks for worrying about me. I close my eyes. When did I get so mean? I wasn't always like this. Was I? Somewhere in between losing so much sleep and hiding things from people. Maybe. My phone buzzes, much to my surprise. Does Baxter not sleep either? Good to hear. You good, though? You seem kind of off. Kinda. Yeah. What happened? What'd he do? Don't worry about it. I think I just need sleep or something. Tell me over breakfast tomorrow. Are we gonna have breakfast every day together? Sounds bad for your wallet. If you don't want to. I do. But I don't want you going broke. Fine. You pay tomorrow then. Fine. You're picking me up then. Deal. Sleep tight, Russo. Good night, Bax. I throw my phone over my nightstand, not really bothering to put it to charge. It's kind of funny that the only person who I can be honest with these days is sort of a stranger to me. It feels nice to be looked after like this. Baxter makes me feel nice, I note sleepily. I don't get much sleep. Not that I usually do, but tonight my insomnia was particularly brutal. As tired as I am, my mind kept replaying the events of a couple of hours ago over and over again, and with a spinning head, it's hard to find much peace. Eventually, when I see the sky start shifting from gray to blue, I just get up and start getting ready for the day. No use in trying anymore. I sit on my bed for what seems like a couple of hours, waiting out my dad to leave the house and my mom to start getting ready. I'm mad at her. I don't want to talk to her right now. When my phone rings, I automatically jump up and make my way out of the house before she could come out of her room and question me all over again. Going outside, I find Baxter about to get off his bike, but when he spots me, he gets back on, smiling at me. Whoa, morning, Russo. You're up early. Yeah, didn't want to keep you waiting this time. How thoughtful of you. You look awful. Aren't you a sweetheart? I'm saying this as your friend, not your pretend boyfriend. Did you sleep at all last night? I think so. That's not very convincing. I clamber onto the seat behind him and wrap my arms around his body, leaning my face against his back. He smells nice. I just need food. Well, all right then. Food it is. Where are we headed? Mickey D's. Tss. Here I am taking you to a fancy cafe and you take me to McDonald's? The double standards. I like McDonald's, okay? Come on already. He hands me his helmet, grinning at me, and once it's on, my hands are wrapped around it again. He takes off, as quick as always. Kinda crowded today, huh? I blink awake, realizing that I'm leaning most of my body weight onto Baxter, then quickly stand up straight. It usually is like this. He pulls me by the waist and hugs me close to him, and before I could even give a reaction, he whispers into my ear. There's a couple of people that I know here, so let's play it up a little, okay? I don't have the energy to refute this, or even get embarrassed, so I just hug him back tightly. Whatever you say, baby. Baby, huh? You must be exhausted if you're calling me pet names. A little, I guess. There. Go sit down. I'll order for us. But I was gonna pay. Just give me the money then. I reach for my wallet and the thought of him running off with my money crosses my mind for an instant, but I push it away. I may not know him super well, but I definitely don't think that he's the thief. I hand him a 20 and he pockets it. Get me a deluxe. Someone's hungry. Yup. He grabs my face and plants a firm kiss on my forehead, not unlike how he did yesterday, only this time it isn't loud at all, just a quiet show of affection. Alright, go find us a seat. Yes, sir. I wobble over to a booth, slide in and put my head down on the table, which is full of crumbs from whoever ate here first, but I'm too tired to wipe them off. A weird, anxious feeling starts forming in my gut, which usually tends to happen when I'm sleep-deprived, but this time there's definitely more to it. I pushed Lizzie away. I don't want to look my mom in the eye. Jakob made me feel weird last night. Was everything he said true? Does he really love me? Or did he say all of that so that I'd have with him? I'd like to think that he's not that kind of person, but sometimes I have my doubts. I'm angry, I'm confused, I'm upset, and I'm tired. So tired. And hungry. You didn't say if you wanted coffee or not, but considering the state you're in, I got you some anyway. Baxter's voice snaps me awake, and I sit up lazily as he slides our trays of food onto the table, and in one swift moment, slides himself into my side of the booth, putting an arm around my shoulder. Hey. Really? Come on, it's romantic. Fine. You're lucky I'm so sleepy. I lay my head on his shoulder, and he squeezes me closer against him. I'm starting to like Sleepy Russo. He's cuddly. Enjoy it while it lasts, then. I plan on it. We eat in silence for a while, shoulder to shoulder, until eventually he speaks up, turning to me. So, what'd he do? I put my fork down and look away, feeling ashamed. I don't really want to tell him all the dirty details of my encounter with Jakob, but an outside perspective on my fight with Lizzie might help me clear my head about it. I'm not really mad at Jakob. Something else happened last night. Oh? Yeah. When I was leaving his apartment last night, Lizzie was waiting for me outside. Oh. Wow. Yeah. What did she say? I tell him pretty much everything, what she said to me and what I shouted back at her. He listens carefully even when I start getting a little heated halfway through. And she said that it wasn't fair. Not fair? As if she has any idea what it is that I'm going through? She's got it so good and she doesn't even know it. Honestly, if I could switch places with her, I would have done it already. I angrily take a bite of my food, feeling his eyes bore into my skull, and when I turn to him, he has a look on his face that doesn't make me feel very good at all. What? All right, Russo. Do you want the brutal, honest truth, or do you want the sugar-coated boyfriend's sweet talk? The first one? Okay then. He chews on a sandwich for a moment, as if thinking how to say this, then swallows loudly, turning his body to face mine. I think you're in the wrong here. Oh. Yeah, honestly, from what you've told me, it seems like she was just worried about you from the very beginning. Maybe you didn't trust her enough to tell her, and that's fine. But you guys seem close, yeah? It is a little shitty to hide things from someone who's your best friend. And if you didn't tell her because you thought that she'd judge you, then isn't that kind of on you? Because you thought badly of her? I think maybe you're making her out to be the bad guy, even though she's like the closest person in your life. And then he bites into a sandwich again, like he didn't just rip my heart open and told me everything that was inside of it. I mean, I know it's on me a lot, but she was always just so busy with Wyatt, it felt like I was being left behind. Which isn't exactly her fault, but I think it makes sense that you feel left out now that she has a boyfriend. Maybe she did ignore you for a bit. But she isn't now, is she? And she hasn't been for a while, from what you've told me. Seems like she's trying to get back into your life, trying to figure out why you're so weird to her nowadays. I think you should let her, Mylo. Maybe you think that she'll judge you, but if she's really your friend, then she'll understand you, but only if you tell her what's going on. Hell, I told my roommate about our plan and I barely see the guy. I think she'll be on your side. I hang my head low, pondering everything that he said. I guess I have been pushing her away because I thought that she'd judge me. But when has she ever not been on my side? Yeah, I've been a pretty donk friend. I'll talk to her soon. Make things right between us once and for all. Don't know what donk means, but yeah, you should. Be less donkey. I will. Thanks for talking this out with me. I think I really needed that. He suddenly grabs me by the shoulder and pulls me into his body, giving me a tight hug. I'll always be there for you, Russo. Although I'm a little confused at how out of nowhere this affection is. In my tired, vulnerable state of mind, I just embrace it, basking in his warmth. Maybe this is what it feels like to not be a secret. Maybe I could like Baxter. Maybe... Oh right, they're gone. Do you think that they bought it? Huh? Some of Dahlia's friends were passing by, so I played it up for them to see. Was it believable? I hope that they tell her. He slowly lets me go, and when he does, I scooch myself away from him, leaving a good amount of distance between us in the booth. Yeah, it was pretty believable. Even I was fooled. So stupid. How could I forget even for a second that this is all just a farce? Someone like Baxter would never like me for real. You good? Fine. I'm not that hungry anymore. Could I eat your food then? I slide my tray to the side and I watch as he wolfs it down in less than a minute. Whatever. That's what I get for getting my hopes up. Oh, I almost forgot. We're outside now, and before he gets on the bike, he rummages through his pocket and pulls out a receipt and some bills. Here's the change from the food. You can keep it. What? He chuckles, like it's absurd. Russo, I know that I said that the supermarket doesn't pay me well, but I am not in a dire need of money. Here, take it. I'm paying you back for yesterday. I don't need you to pay me back for yesterday. Well, I want to pay you back for yesterday. Not happening. I just don't want to owe you anything, okay? You don't. We had breakfast together as friends. He gets on the bike and holds out his helmet to me, looking at me seriously. Look, I don't know why you're upset right now, but I'd appreciate it if you didn't take it out on me. I gently take the helmet and put it on and climb onto the seat behind him, hugging him. I guess he wouldn't really get why I'd be mad. It doesn't make much sense to me either. I felt so unlike myself these days, so mean, so secretive. I guess Lizzie was right. I'm sorry. It's okay. He pats my thigh comfortingly. Just try not to push people away too much. It's usually not a good idea. I'll try. He gives my knee a squeeze and I reciprocate the gesture, hugging his waist just a little tighter. I do have a lot to change about myself. But maybe Baxter's right. Maybe I can make things okay again. I don't know what it is about him, but he makes me feel like I can do good things. He makes me feel good about myself. And it scares me, because I know that I'll end up getting attached sooner or later. I know that it'll hurt when we eventually go our separate ways. And I don't know if I'll be able to handle that. And that's where I'm going to leave it for today. So, somebody's going through a lot of emotions. I don't know if and when this will be 2 episodes. Well, not if and when. If it'll be 2 episodes. Because this is not as long as it was in the previous recording. But still, who knows? Anyways, so focusing more or less on what happened at the end, like the really big part. It is understandable why he would still be so hung up on Jakob, regardless of the fact that everyone else can probably by now, hopefully, see that that situation is not good. Even if Jakob is still closeted, or even if Jakob still has some things to work through, that doesn't mean that Mylo should just stay there and wait and hope that eventually Jakob would eventually work through whatever it is that he's going through and be ready to finally come out and, both be boyfriends. We also don't really know what exactly happened between all the band members when Jakob was part of the band. He could have been a complete tool. And Mylo's just, again, looking at Jakob with rose-colored glasses and, he doesn't really see the type of person that he really is. Although, I guess, depending on whether or not I include the scene, but when they are together, it is very clear that all the things that Jakob told Mylo are sort of just sweet nothings in order to just basically keep Mylo wrapped around his finger. Because when they were doing the act, it was very clear that it was not for Mylo's benefit. This was not two people finally coming together. This was just Jakob coming. But yeah, so I was also worried that Mylo would get well, not worried. I kind of knew that it was going to happen because, it was very obvious. You could see all the signs that he would get attached to Baxter. And it is not all Mylo's fault because Baxter he's giving mixed signals. He's giving, I am a very good friend of yours. I want to be your very, very good friend. I want to be there to help you with what you're going through. But also, I'm also interested in this girl. So, anything and everything that I say and do is literally just friends, even though I'm acting a little bit too flirty for my own good. And yeah, so he's complicating things. And even now I notice that it's sort of this screen right here is very intentional where Mylo is stuck between two people. Which is a little weird that he has Wyatt right there too. Maybe Wyatt is gonna eventually play some bigger part in whatever's going on with Mylo. Who's the one on the bottom left? Anyways, but yeah, so what else? The situation with Lizzie. That is bad. I feel like this is sort of one of those situations where it was a long time coming that you needed to express these feelings, these things that you had inside of you to this person. But because of how they came out the wrong way. They came out with the wrong feelings. Instead of, like how Baxter said, instead of sitting down with Lizzie and telling her what's going on, telling how you feel in relation to her and Wyatt, and you sort of feeling phased out of what's going on, feeling that you're drifting apart from Lizzie, etc., and even maybe talking about the situation with Jakob, you just kept it all bottled in. And like, it is a thing that if you hold your emotions in for too long, especially if they're bad emotions, eventually they're gonna fester, they're gonna turn worse, they're gonna become worse, they're gonna go from whatever it is that they started with to something worse, to anger, to hate. And like, all he said to her was misplaced emotions about what's going on with Jakob. So, you know, the whole like, oh, you get to be with Wyatt, well, I have to be, you know, sneaking around with Jakob. Well, like, in reality, you don't even have to be sneaking around with Jakob because he doesn't really like he says that he loves you, but like, does he actually? Like, the whole thing, like, he says that he needs you, but you're right there. So why doesn't he just come out and takes you? Why does it always have to be this thing where, you know, you just go out at night and then the midnight, well, not midnight, the whole little thing that they do. Like, he doesn't really love you, guy. Anyways, but yeah, so write down in the comments what you think, and thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play What It Feels Like and, you know, see what's going on, you know, go further into the chapters and, you know, not wait for me to, you know, continue reading them, then you can do so by going down into the link in the description, which should have a direct link for the itch.io page, where you can download and play the game, or one of the author's other games, because they have 2. But you should by now have already seen the other one, the one with the school bully, the one with the school delinquent, and the other one, which is I forget the name about it, the name of When I Used to Know You, or something like that, about the person trying to figure out what happened when he was away. But yeah, so if you would like to do that, you know, down in the description. Or if you would like to support the creator, you can do so by going down for their Patreon and, you know, subscribing to them. And I'm assuming getting early access to builds of What It Feels Like and whatever else they might offer. And all my other links down in the description as well. You know, in case you want to support me. You know, you want to become a channel member, or you want to donate to my Ko-fi or whatever. It's right there in the description. Anyways, but yeah, so I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.